Hey guys, Nicole G here talking to you about how to close your prospects. I know this is something that so many people struggle with, and you guys have been asking me for tips and information on how you can better close your prospects and have more effective conversations with your prospects so that you can grow your business faster and easier. So today that's what we're talking about. I've broken this down into a two-phase approach. This is my favorite way to bring prospects into my business. I do it in two phases. So let's dig in. The first phase of your closing strategy is going to include 7 points. This is a phone conversation, guys. Yes, you have to get on the phone with your prospects. If you're sticking to Messenger, I'm not saying you can't bring people into your business that way, but let me just say you're going to boost your conversion rates by like millions if you just get on the phone with people. Okay, so everything that we're talking about today is phone conversations. So we're going to get on the phone. The first piece is going to be a warm-up. You're going to spend a minute just saying hi, asking how they're doing, getting to know them as a person, letting them know that you care about them as a human being, and connecting on that personal level. Really important to set the tone. So give yourself about a minute to do that. That's plenty of time. Now, this call is going to last about 10 to 15 minutes. It doesn't have to be ridiculously long. You don't have to be on the phone for half an hour with people. Your time is really precious and valuable. So I like to stick to 10-minute calls, 15-minute at the max. So that first minute's going to be your warm-up. The next piece, you're basically just going to ask them to tell you a little bit about where they are with their business. You know, what do they have in place for generating leads, for bringing them through? Do they have a business process in place? Do they have a daily routine? What are they struggling most with, generating leads or converting people into their business, or both? And just kind of get a feel for what it is that they're doing and what it is that they're struggling with, right? And that's where it's going to reveal to you the holes that you can fill for them. This next piece, this is you listening. Believe it or not, this conversation is mostly them talking, not you. It's mostly you listening, right? So that makes you feel a little bit better and helps take the pressure off of you to know that it's really not going to be about you talking at people for 10 or 15 minutes and thinking, oh my gosh, what am I going to say for 10 minutes on the phone with my prospects? Relax. You're having a conversation, normal back and forth. But most of this is going to be them talking and you listening, right? You want to learn, like I said, about where they are with their business, what strategies they have in place, and what they're struggling with. You need to take notes. Let them know at the beginning, hey, if you hear me typing on my keyboard, I'm taking notes. I'm listening to you. You have my undivided attention, but I want to take some notes because what you're telling me is important to me. And just kind of let them know that. And jot down what they tell you. If they are sharing a specific strategy with you, jot it down so that you have that in your notes, so that you know, for example, that they prefer to use Instagram or prefer to work in Facebook or whatever it is that they have going on in their business. Jot down what it is they're struggling with. They're going to tell you. If they're on the phone with you, they want to talk with you. So they're going to reveal to you and answer your questions. So write those down. This is going to be important as you move into this next piece, number 5, because you're going to share back how you can solve the problems, the struggles, and kind of fill those holes that they shared with you in number 4. And this is where you need to stop thinking about plugging them into a company and start thinking more about plugging them in with you, right? So you have to come to the table with more than just an organization to plug them into. You've got to come to the table with, what are you going to do for them? How are you going to solve their problems? How are you, let's just break it down here. Their goal is to make money online. At the end of the day, simply put, they're looking to make money. How can you help them do that? How can you show them how to do that? So that's what number 5 is all about. This just doesn't have to take forever and ever. A couple of minutes of you talking about, just kind of reflecting back that, hey, this is what I'm hearing from you, this is what I'm hearing you struggle with, and this is how I can solve that with you. This is what we're going to do together to solve that and to get you into a place where you're getting results and making money. The next piece you're going to move into and this is what I'm calling a two-phase or two-part conversation, right? At this point, you're not looking to say, okay, let's sign you up. No, you're having this kind of initial conversation where you're getting to know them, you're getting to know about their business, you're giving them just a little bit about what it is that you can do for them, how you can kind of fill those holes, and then you're going to point them to more information. You're going to hopefully you have a page together with your team where it's got information and videos on what it's like to be part of your team and what your team brings to the table for them. People are looking to connect with something more than themselves. They're looking to connect with people. People first, and then companies and resources. So show them that. Show them what they're going to be part of. Give them a sneak peek. Let them see the team, the resources, the support, and exactly how you're going to help them achieve their goals. Whether that's a team page, if you don't have that, then it's okay to plug them into a company page, like a replicated website if that's what you have, or maybe a team group that you have. Set up something on Facebook and invite your prospects in. Let them come in and let them see what it's like to be part of the group. Have people welcome them in. Get creative. If you don't have a page, it's okay. Work with what you do have. Facebook is very robust. It can actually solve everything that you need. So I would actually personally point prospects into that. Have some additional information in there for them if you don't have a team page with videos and information, and let them kind of connect with people that way. As you're closing out this conversation and pointing them to more information, set a time for follow-up. Don't let this drag on forever, right? And don't leave it hanging. Set the expectation that we're going to come back together. I'm going to give you a day or so to go check out this information, to watch these videos, to go plug into our Facebook community, whatever it is that you're doing with them, to kind of give them a better feel for what it's like to be part of your team, and set that to come back around. Because a lot of times what happens if you leave it open-ended, then you sort of feel awkward. Like, ooh, am I going to push? Are they going to respond if I follow up to see how they're doing? No. You set the time. You say, okay, I'm going to send you the link. You're going to check this out. We're going to come back tomorrow at 5 p.m. for another quick call. Does that sound good? Can you watch that or plug into this and get the information between now and then? They're going to say yes. Great. It was great to talk to you. I look forward to plugging you into this information. I look forward to talking to you again tomorrow. Awesome. Okay. So now you've concluded the call. You feel good. You've had a positive conversation. You've learned a little bit about them. You've shared with them about how you can help them, and you've pointed them to more information. Boom. Right? That doesn't sound so hard and scary, does it? No. So now it's time for phase 2. We're going to move into phase 2. You're going to have, yes, another phone conversation. The more somebody can connect with you and hear your voice, the more likely they are to join you, guys. So if you have that barrier and you're only doing Messenger with them, that's a barrier. They're going to have a harder time feeling like they can get close to you, feeling like they're connected to you, and you want that. Let them hear your voice. Let them hear that you're there for them. Let them hear that you care. Let them hear your enthusiasm. Very important. So phase 2, phone call 2, you're getting on the phone. You're starting off just like you would with the other call, just like you would with any friend. You don't call up a friend and say, hey, let's go to the movies. No, you're going to say, hey, how are you doing? What's going on? Are you free? Let's go to the movies. So this is going to be exactly the same way. You're going to call, hey, how's it going? How are you doing today? What's new? Whatever it is that makes sense for your conversation and the time of day. And then you're going to let them talk a little bit back and forth, make it casual, easy breezy. And then when the timing feels right, you're just going to say, hey, so tell me, what did you like best about what you saw? And then shut up. Put the tape on the mouth, zip the mouth up, sit back and let them talk. Resist the urge to blabber on. Listen. Number 3, let them talk and listen to what they're saying. Really hear what they're saying. Because in the end, you're not looking to put a square peg in a round hole. You're looking to fill needs, right? And not 100% of the time are you going to be able to fill the need for everybody that you talk to. That's just an unrealistic expectation. But you can increase your conversion rates if you follow this 2-phase approach that I'm sharing with you right now. Okay, what did you like best about what you saw? You're going to sit back and you're going to listen. You're going to jot things down. You're going to take notes. I should have put that in there as a step. Take notes while they're talking, and just kind of write down the things that stand out to you, what they really loved, what resonates with them, and let them resolve this for themselves. And what I mean by that is, if you try to jump in, there are quite possibly going to be some objections. And I'm kind of moving into 4 and 5. If you see here, I have handle objections as number 5, but really it could be interchangeable with number 4, because you may need to handle some objections, as they're talking, depending on what they're saying to you. Now, you've asked them to let you know what they liked best. So you're kind of guiding that conversation in a positive tone. You're not asking for them to blow holes in what you sent them. You're asking, how did that resonate with you? Tell me tell me something great about what you saw. And you're getting them to kind of realize that good feeling of whatever it is that you showed them that they felt. So you're going to want to take the notes to kind of get a feel for what it is that they did like, and if the conversation kind of veers into a place where they start having objectives and they start saying, but this, but that, resist the urge to jump in and address those right then and there. That's why I put handle objections to number 5, because I didn't want you to feel like that's something you have to jump in and do right away. Let them talk themselves through it, because if you do that, in most cases, I guarantee you people will talk themselves out of their own objections for you. So yes, there's a definite science. You should definitely seek out some tools and resources and education to learn how to handle objections. If you'd like me to plug you into something very powerful, you just let me know and I'll share with you what I use to learn how to handle objections. But if you don't know how to do that, don't be scared of it, because in most cases, people will talk themselves out of their own objectives or objections, okay? Now, the number one thing that you're going to hear is always money. That's what most people are going to tell you they're struggling with. Gosh, I'm not sure. I don't know if I have the money. You need to understand that if you're providing enough value, they will find the money. They will find a way to become part of this, right? So if in phase 1, you did a good job of sharing with them how you're going to help solve their pains and problems and how you're going to show them how to make money, and if you sent them to something, whether it be a team page or a team group in Facebook, that's giving them more information on what it's like to be part of that and how it's going to help them achieve their goals, if you did a good job there, then you're going to be okay with that, because they will find a way, okay? So the next thing that you need to say is, okay, great, sounds like you're ready to go, yes? Okay, you're not going to let them just keep going on and on. You're going to nip that in the bud and say, sounds like you're ready to go, yes? And then let them respond to you, okay? And this is where number 4 and 5 are kind of interchangeable. Because if you didn't have the objections and then they've talked about the things that they do like and you've gone into, okay, great, sounds like you're ready to go, then that may elicit some objections. Sit back and let them talk themselves through them. Don't try to jump in there and explain to them why they need to go out and find the money. Let them sort their way through that on their own, because they need to own this. This cannot be you shoving this at the other person. This has to be your prospect realizing this for themselves, realizing that they want this, and figuring out how to make this happen for themselves. If they don't own this, they're not going to do it, right? So you want to let them do that for themselves. And you just want to sit there and listen to them and be there for them. And once they kind of talk through it, if there are objections, then you need to address that in your next steps. Now, if you want to, we can do some role playing on some different objectives. Wow, I keep saying that. Different objections and how to handle them. But first and foremost, if you would like to get plugged into some resources for learning how to handle objections, then just let me know. Hit me up. Comment below. The last thing that you're going to say, regardless of how the conversation goes, obviously it can go one of 2 ways. Yes, they're ready to go. Okay, you're going to set clear next steps. All right, this is what you can expect. I'm going to send you this. You're going to need to do this. Let me know when you're done, and then I'll plug you into our team resources. You set clear steps. You send them a message in Facebook, you reiterate, or an email, you reiterate these steps, you make it easy peasy, you give it to them step by step, you make sure there are checkpoints along the way. If there were objections that they didn't sort through, if it was just a deal breaker, the amount of money that it would take to join you, or whatever the objection could be, then what might make sense is that you offer a three-way call with your upline. Make sure that you have somebody in your upline who is available and willing to do that with you. They should want to do that with you. So hopefully you have that kind of support where your upline, whether it be your sponsor or somebody else somewhere in the mix, can come with you. You guys can edify each other on the call and then answer questions together, when sometimes people just need to hear it from somebody else, if that makes sense. So whether it's a three-way call, or you could even invite them to a team event that you're having where they can get a little bit more information if they're still hesitant, whatever it is, you need to have a next step. You don't ever want to end the conversation with, okay, well, thanks, bye-bye. Unless they just come back to you and say, you know what, I looked at this stuff and this is just not a fit for me, okay? Then, hey, this is where you've got to have multiple ways for people to work with you, or you need to have multiple things that you can plug them into, because your MLM, your opportunity is not going to be a fit for everybody. It just isn't. I know that you may have been told that everybody's going to want this, and I know that you believe that in your heart, or you wouldn't be there. But be realistic and realize that your opportunity is not, at the end of the day, a fit for everybody. So this is where it's a great idea to have other options to point people to. Okay, so that's not a fit for you. All right, no worries. I've got this for you. Just based on the things that you told me in our conversation yesterday, I've got this great resource that I can plug you into, or this great whatever it is that I can plug you into. Would you like to check that out instead? So really, it's a series of finding out what people need and pointing them to opportunities until they find the fit for them, the way of working with you that resonates best with them, okay? So that's it for the two-phase approach. I'm going to keep it simple. I know I've kind of gone into almost 17 minutes there because there's a lot to the closing, but hopefully this two-phase approach gives you a better feel for how to have those closing conversations where you're actually sponsoring more people into your business. Comment below to let me know if this is helpful. I want to hear from you. Do you want to know more about closing? Do you want to tackle more about this? Do you have specific questions that you'd like for me to address? Tell me below so I can do that. Help me help you. Okay, guys, much love to you. And that is Nicole Hunchie signing off with How to Close Your Prospects. Take care.